welcome back to 25 Sweetpeas and welcome to another happy nail art video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create this kind of fun ombre look that is going across all of my fingers. And this manicure was based off of a trend, I believe that was started by my friend Kara Nailed It. And she posted a video on how she did this sort of manicure, and here's a close-up of this manicure that she did. She did it with jelly-like polishes, and so her method worked much better than how it worked in this video. But we're going to go ahead and test it out, and I'll show you what happens if you follow her method by using cream polishes, because it can be done. It's just not as quick and clean and easy, but I think you guys are going to like it. And I loved her manicure, and so many other people have been recreating it, and it's just been a lot of fun to see all these fun, happy colored ombre nails going through my Instagram feed. Also, I will make note that I did not follow the same color scheme because I couldn't find like that exact color range all within the same brand, within the same kind of consistency formula. So I changed my colors up a little bit, and we're gonna have some fun with kind of some girly pastel like shades. So let's take a look at the polishes that I'm actually gonna be using. The first one is, well, actually all of them are by Heroine NYC, and this light pink shade is called Sugar Spun. You guys have seen me use it a lot. Then we have Bubblegum, which is a bit more of a bolder pink, and then the next shade is a light lavender, and it's called Lilac It. Then we're going to move on to kind of a periwinkly shade that I really, really love, and it's a unique shade, and it is called A Haze. It's really pretty, and all of these are good creamy formulas. They're all very consistent. They're the same, so I knew all of these would work the same together, if that makes sense. With doing this manicure, that's kind of key of having similar polishes. And then the last shade that I'm going to use is called Peekaboo, which is a good cream. And then at the end, I decided to throw in some sparkle. So at the end, we're going to be using this new China Glaze from their White Hot collection, and this is called Spritzer Sister. So first things you want to do is line up all of the polishes that you're going to use, have them open, and have them ready to go. So that is what I'm doing. I've got all of my colors, easy to grab. The lids are loose. I can quickly grab them. I've already got a base coat on, and it is dried, so I am ready to start. So I flipped around the camera so you guys can kind of see this in a different perspective, and hopefully maybe make it easier to see than seeing it in the other viewpoint. Anyway, we're going to go with what Kara did. So what she started out by doing is picking the first two colors and putting them on the same nail at the same time while they are wet. So there is no dry time. You just put the polishes next to each other. If your brush touches the wet polish and it gets on it and you don't want to put it back in the bottle, just wipe it off on a piece of paper or something. But as you guys can see here, even though I am overlapping them, they're not really blending. And I think that is due to the fact that these polishes are very creamy, whereas the ones that she used in her tutorial are quite jelly-like, and they're sheer. They're going to mix better and kind of become like tints. And it works really well, whereas using a cream, not as a seamless type thing. We got quite a seam in the middle. But I'm going to go ahead and do this for all of the nails. And you guys can see like whatever polish that I end on the one nail is the one that translates to the next nail. So I think you can easily kind of tell what's going on here. Hopefully, if you have any questions, let me know. But as you guys can see, I'm kind of cleaning it up as I go because it does make a little bit of a mess, because these are like the really nice wide brushes, which are super nice, but because we're only doing half the nail, it does make a teeny tiny mess. So now that we have this done, I did think that I wanted to go ahead and do a second coat just to make sure that everything was 100% full coverage. So we're going to speed that up, do that here. And also, if you hear rumbling in the background, it's thundering currently, and I've been putting off doing the audio for this video for about 24 hours because of constant rumbles, but I decided, no, you just gotta go ahead and give in, and if it rumbles in the background, it's okay. So we're going to finish up this design, and they still didn't really mesh. We've got a defined line. So what I decided to do was kind of, pretend like this was a gradation and get some help from a sponge. So what I did is I have a wedged cosmetic sponge. As you guys can see, parts of it have already been used, and that's okay. I'm just reusing a different side that I've not yet used. I have wetted it completely and then like squeezed all the excess water out, but I like having a damp sponge when doing this sort of ombre. So what I'm doing is I am taking the two polishes that I used on each nail. I'm putting them next to each other. Yeah, that made sense. I put them like that. And I tried to line it up so they would match up whenever I flipped it downward. So keep that in mind because a few times I messed that up. It's definitely something you want to kind of look at and pretend like you're putting the sponge over your nail to make sure they line up. And then you're really only going to focus on the seam of the two colors on your nail. You don't really have to worry about making full coverage or anything because your nails are already covered completely. You're really just trying to blend in at the center there. So that is what I am doing here, and this worked. This made it super easy. It blended the colors, but also like because I was only focusing on the center of the nail, I didn't have like a huge gradation mess to deal with on skin, and I didn't have to put any protective anythings down because a lot of the times it's like a liquid latex people put around their nails, but I'm allergic to that, so I've never done that. I've always just had to go the other route of cleaning it up or using masking tape or something like that. And this way I could do this sort of gradation, but I didn't have a massive mess. On my pinky, it made a little bit of a mess, but I just used some straight acetone and a nice little cleanup brush and quickly cleaned that up, which was no big deal at all. So let's finish this up and see how they really work together. I really liked how this turned out. It was a bit of a flop at first. I was like, great, this isn't gonna work. But I think adding in the sponge for using creamy polishes is just a really good answer. If you don't have jelly polishes at home and you want to create the ombre effect going across all of your nails, use the same method in the fact where you're putting both polishes on while they're wet. If they mesh, great. If they don't, you can add a little bit of help with a cosmetic sponge. And it's really easy, not as much cleanup as a traditional gradation. And it was so much fun to have a different color on every nail, and it just looked very satisfying. And think of all the color combinations you could do. I went with this kind of girly pastel, but you could do rainbow, you could do autumnal colors, you could do summer colors, you could do 4th of July. There's just like so many options, and it is so much fun in my opinion. So here's the final look, and I decided to go ahead and top it with a glittery topper. So I used China Glaze's Spritzer Sister, which I absolutely love. It is like the perfect kind of iridescent micro glitter topper, and it's oh so fun. And I just did one coat of all of that. It definitely kind of blended that gradation all together and made it look really seamless in my opinion. And once that was dry, I then topped everything with a shiny top coat, and I was good to go. So there is the official manicure. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video. This was a longer one than normal, but hopefully it made sense. Hopefully it was easy to follow along, and I think we kind of troubleshooted things as we went, which was kind of helpful because oftentimes I feel like sometimes tutorials just tell you, this is how you do it. They don't really give like why or quick ways to fix it, and hopefully we covered that. If not, and you have questions, let me know down below. I'm always here to help you guys out. And definitely in this time of probably hanging around at home, maybe painting your own nails more, or you just want to try something new and creative that maybe you've never tried before. And I never jump on trends this fast, but this was just too much fun. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this, and I will see you back here soon for another new video. Bye!